Hello everyone, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my wet on wet rusting. Um, Here are the color catalogs. You have your black, dark gray, light gray, brownish color, red, and yellow. I can't be telling you specifically if it's Vallejo colors, whatever color you tend to use, because I'm using acrylic colors like craft paints. They're made for cloths, so it's the best I can give you. So we're going to start with a dark gray on a flat brush. It's going to paint it. It's already thin. I like thinning with alcohol because I think it evaporates a lot quicker than just water. We're just going to put some on there. Damping off the excess on a piece of paper. Alright, there we are. Basic. Then we're going to come in while it's still wet with a light gray. We're just going to, as you can see, because it's wet, it just spreads out. That's going to give you a good gradients. And you just want to touch the edges. Not the edges of the center, I'm sorry. It's going to give you more of a splattered look. More of a sun bleached type of vibe. And then I didn't like how it spread here. There it is, so I'm just going to give it a little touch. Dark again. Still not quite happy with the gray. So we're going to come back into the gray. Dipping the brush every time in pure alcohol. Give it that darkness. It's absolutely flooded. Yeah. We gotta, not say fight it, but gotta see as it comes along if you want more lights. As you can see, that's pretty good. Pretty good starting base. Then we're going to come in with our three other colors with a sponge by getting a triangular brush with three edges, and that's where I'll place my colors. Alright, so we'll let that dry for maybe a minute or so, not even. Just so it's not too wet. Then we're going to come in with our dark brown on a sponge. I'm sure you've seen many a times before. We're just gonna dip it. Really focus the brown on the darker, towards the center. And then we're gonna radiate out that color. Ooh, that's a little too much. Okay. Just wanna get a little piece of toilet paper. Well, I'll give it some texture because you're lifting off the paint, so that'll be pretty cool. Let's make sure that's right. There we are. Very cool. To start. Right, and then we're gonna get the other edge that we didn't apply a brown on. And we're going to add our red. Alright, and remember, it's still pretty wet. We're going to come in with our red. I like going to the red towards more the corners, because that's where rust usually shows up in. So we're just applying our yellows in random places, but also more towards the edge. And for me, personally, there's too much yellow. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back with a little bit more brown. Cover some of it up. And then we're going to cover up some more of that yellow with the brown. Like sponge work. Alright, and since we applied a little bit of brown, we're going to add a little bit back red in. I'd call this red like a red oxide, almost. That's what I use mainly. Just add this back in. Cool. Right? So, you're thinking, well, that doesn't look much of anything. It looks a bunch of splatters. So what we're going to do is, we're going to dip our brush in alcohol. We're going to come in with our light gray. Super runny. And we're going to wash it to tone down everything. Cool. Have our spot. We're just going to wash it some more. Alcohol on the brush. We're going to touch back the darks that we might have lost. Cool. And just play around until you have your achieved results. Right, and still wet. And add more red. And see, like the sponge is completely dirty, but that's good because all those other colors are blending into it. Right. You slowly touch up with the other colors. Always following the sequence of brown, red, things like that. And then your yellow. And completely random, just like rust. But you want to concentrate more of the brighter colors towards this and towards the edges. Sorry. There we go. Bam. Bam. This is completely flooded. It looks messy, but wait for it to dry a little bit. And just touch up the areas that you want darker, that you want more red in. And as you can see, some edges are starting to get darker already because the alcohol dries, and I feel like because it dries so quickly, it's way better for this technique. Paintbrush with alcohol. Just gonna again tone it down some. And as you can see, got some pretty good rusty effects. To add more dirt, if you will, more aging, you go in with the brown. Surface super wet. And we're just gonna give it one touch with toilet paper. Give you some cool textures. It'll blend all in one. Gotta love all-in-one solutions. There you go. You let this dry for a little bit, and you just keep working on it until you're happy with the results. Like, I want a little bit more red here because everything got a little washed out. And just a smidge red, very tiny. Some smidges of yellow. Cool. We got our yellow in there. Toilet paper it. That really tones it down some. The surface is pretty much dry at this point, especially towards the edges. And you work on it as much as you want. You can do a green wash, apply a green wash, see this? Make it a little bit more rusty, more out in the woods type of vibe. You can add that yellow, super thin it down if you want it more sun bleached. The red to give it some reds. And the brown to make it more dirty. Let's mess around. Like, I would call this finished. Because this is going to dry out. It's going to look really, really fantastic. As you might have seen my Instagram. If not, follow me. A Broken Modeler on Instagram. Here we are. And let's add a little bit of red wash to it. See what happens. Really interested. And you can do blue washes. That will come out really cool looking as well. See what this red will do. Just for the giggles. And you kind of just, you can place the little bit of pigments that are there where you want. I thought that was pretty cool. That's all for brush and alcohol. Obviously you want to use synthetic brushes if you're using this much alcohol. Let's add a little bit of yellow or beige or sand color. And we'll see what happens. See, and you can place the pigments where you want it. It's pretty cool. Then add a little bit of dark brown, a little bit of red dirt. Again, see, yeah, that's a little orange, that's a little gross. So we'll just wipe that away. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what has he done? I'm thinking the same too. We'll just come in some dark gray. We'll apply it really wet on this wet surface. Let it dance a bit. And we'll see what we get. Maybe I should have stopped at that yellow. That was pretty cool. But that's the joy of it. You can take as much time as you want with it, or not. Just tone it down with some red. Nope, too much. Alright, let's add some brown back in. Give it slight taps. Cool. Let's go back in with our yellow, see what happens. Ooh, it's drying out pretty cool. Yeah, this effect is completely random. You really don't know what you're gonna get with it. Just for the giggles. Let's see what happens when you toilet paper it. Give it some slight blending effects. Not too sure. Let's see. It's fixable, it's fixable. This smidge of light gray. And this smidge of dark gray right on top of it. Cool. Play around with it. I barely know what I'm doing. I'm gonna sponge it, give it some texture. enough washes. There we are. That's exactly what we needed. And there you go. You let this dry up because I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh, the toilet paper and the sponge will give it some cool texture. And once this dries out, everything's gonna pretty much level out. The alcohol is gonna evaporate, only leave behind the pigments like for here. So you're gonna pull less alcohol, so it's gonna come out. But there you go. Thank you for watching.